Good evening, everyone. This is Artist of Truth coming to you with another vlog entry. And so the topic that I want to touch on is pedosexuality. And the definition of pedosexuality is pretty much where an adult has sexual intercourse with a child. Now, let me first say there are various types of lifestyles. The lesbian, gay community, I've heard about it. I don't condone it, don't approve of it, never have. But you know, that's them, and that's the lifestyle. That is the life that you all chose. So my thing is, if that's what y'all want to do, then hey, that's what y'all want to do. Don't push it on me or my child. And the reason why I brought both of them up is because I'm waiting to find out whether or not the LGB community is actually condoning pedosexuality. Because right now I'm reading a few articles and it seems as though the lesbian gay community is very, very silent about this. And as a parent, we want to protect our children. And honestly, the Roman Catholics have been doing this shit for years. And messing with little children is disgusting. It's some sort of disease mentally that I'm sure it can be treated if they just start taking pedophiles and just start decapitating a lot of them. Like, you mess with a child, you're not going to prison. We're just going to put you we're going to put you on a flat surface and whack your fucking head off. Just end your life. Period. Now, this shit is getting way out of hand. I'm ever since they started talking about pedophilia, I'm hearing more and more people saying that they're making excuses for pedophiles, like all pedophiles are human beings too, and this they have lives and this that. I'm like, you know what, shut the fuck up. Like, really, shut the fuck up. You have people of color, Native Americans, they don't get the necessary support and aid from a lot of Caucasians. They really don't. Not at all. But some of y'all nasty, defiled, pig slop, Caucasian devils that approve of that type of fuckery, you need to put a pistol in your mouth and pull the trigger. Just kill yourself. Because any man or woman that has a child, I can pretty much say they'll probably put you down like some animal behind their children. And that's a given. But I'm seeing more and more pedophiles coming out and being very, very verbal and trying, and you know what? You even have some political figureheads that are pedophiles. They just haven't been caught yet. I'm not going to put their names out. But you do have some pedophiles out there who are trying to get what they like pushed. It's always some sort of agenda that is there. While everything else is going on around us in this country, you have some devious demons that want to prey on children. And I can't understand why are they still living? Like, really, why are they still walking the earth? Why are they still, I mean, yeah, you're human. Yeah. You're human. But to some extent, pedophiles and pedosexuality, that's bullshit. The Roman Catholic the Roman Catholic Church has been in the public's eye for inappropriately touching and sexually abusing young boys. And it's like, oh, well, no big deal. Just kind of sweep it under the rug. But then when we talk about the rape of women, everybody got something to say. Everyone's coming out the woodworks with something to say. Even the lesbian gay community, they're coming out with something to say. But when it comes to pedosexuality, and it seems like the only ones that are really saying anything about this are people of color. Because I find it funny that the lesbian gay community, they're very, very silent. I'm still looking for articles. And if you are a lesbian or a homosexual, hey, feel free to comment. I mean, just be open. Because I will say this much. I have a couple of clients. I have some friends who are part of that community. But I will say this much. They are not subjecting their lifestyle to their children. They're not trying to introduce their children to that lifestyle. They want their child to know that, hey, you have people out there who are lesbians, who are homosexuals. It's like, okay. But they're not pushing their children into it. But now you have pedosexuality. Where the fuck y'all coming from with this shit? That's what I really want to know. Like, why? A child under the age of 10, if a child under the age of 10 can't vote, can't obtain alcohol or some over-the-counter drugs, but you're making it feasible for them to be exposed to a transsexual coming into their school and teaching them about transsexuals. Or better yet, you want to try and push a narrative about pedosexuality. Like, what in the hell does a 8 or 7-year-old need to know about transsexuals and pedophilia? And I mean, explore your sexuality. That's not what our children are going to school for. Our children are supposed to go to school to get an education, to learn about things that is going to be beneficial in their growth. Not no disgusting, defiled shit that is satisfying these lustful, degrading, disgusting, demonic desires of a demonic-minded person, an adult at that. Like, why? That shit just, that's disgusting. So, if you haven't looked that up, check it out for yourself. We are living in a country where people in certain positions are pushing for something that does not correspond with the rules and guidelines that man and woman must abide by. Any man or woman that has children are willing to do whatever's possible to protect their children. So if that means you got to put a pedophile in the dirt because they are messing with your child, then by all means put them motherfuckers in the dirt. I don't care if it's a school teacher. Catch that motherfucker outside. Bust that motherfucker to the goddamn white meat. And I understand there are some people that may feel like, oh, he's just, you're being too vulgar, and fuck that shit. When it comes to a child, you don't fuck around with no one's child. You are a grown-ass adult. You are a grown-ass adult. Why in the hell do you want to mess with a child that if he or she doesn't want you in their space, they're not strong enough to even fight you off? So you're taking advantage of someone's child. And now you want to create this narrative to where your people are trying to make it sound like pedophilia isn't such a bad thing. It's a lifestyle. No, bitch, that is not. Then I ain't even gonna lie. When you start seeing some of these goddamn pedophiles coming out of the woodworks and they start getting their head knocked off, you got a whole lot of parents that you're gonna have to question. You're gonna find some dead CIA, FBI, chief of police, judges, prosecutors, DAs. You're gonna find a whole, even police officers, doctors, nurses, teachers. You're going to find a whole lot of dead bodies floating around. Protect your children. The first time your child brings some information to you about being touched, or if you even find out that there's a pedophile in your neighborhood, put so much fire up under that motherfucker's ass that they have no choice but to leave their house that fucking day. We are living in a country where we are becoming a laughing stock in other nations. Like, if you want to be a pedophile, go to the U.S. They're starting a movement now where pedophiles and even Catholics, they are not being held accountable. They are not actually being beheaded. Of course, if you go to some parts of Africa and you are a lesbian, you are gay, they killing you. Because their traditions and cultures, they don't go for that. And now we are living in a country where someone else's traditions and cultures are being pushed off on the rest of us. And that's a negative. That shit won't even fly in my household. Let them up. Shit. I have a child. Let my child come to me and tell me, well, We had a transsexual come into the school. I'm coming to the school. I'm coming to the school. This guy, he touched me inappropriately. His teacher touched me. She touched me inappropriately. I'm coming to the school. It's no conversations. Some heads are going to roll. So, protect your children. Because this bullshit that's going on right now, this is unacceptable. Love ain't got shit to do with it. Motherfuckers that have a tendency, they want to try and use love as a means of covering up their lustful, demonic desires. Just like a grown man would tell a woman to her face, "I love you," but all it's really about is sex. Love ain't got shit to do with it. I was reading a tweet where a Caucasian male said it's been scientifically proven that a 4-year-old has 28 orgasms. Are you fucking kidding me? What scientific studies are being done on 4-year-old girls to find out whether or not they're having 20 some goddamn orgasms? Why in the fuck are y'all doing this type of shit? And then don't understand why people just explosively, just start at random, start busting folks' heads wide open. It's like you're toying with children at a young age. And then when they become adults, the world doesn't understand why this adult is killing people at random. Like, what happened? What's going on here? Protect your goddamn kids, people. Because you have some sick ass people out here right now that are trying to push this narrative when it comes to pedophiles. Pedosexuality. Look that shit up for yourself. I'm just a messenger. Bring awareness to your kids. Protect your kids. Your kids should be the first one that you talk to about this. Ask them questions every single day. Who has touched you? Has anyone touched you inappropriately? Let me know. That's all you got to do. Don't be afraid to come in, and don't be afraid to come to me and talk to me. You have parents, don't be afraid to bring up that discussion with your children, because your kids are supposed to go to school to get an education for the necessary things that's going to help them in their future. They're not supposed to go to school to learn about transsexuals or pedosexuality. That's no. That is a demonic agenda that you are trying to push. And anyone that feels like that's what's going on in their school, they should snatch their children out. Time to homeschool. But be safe, love each other, but don't be a fool for each other.